There is no end to the amount of SCP content we can make for you guys. It doesn't matter if you're looking through the foundation list for the newest, creepiest SCPs that are being dreamt up by the masterminds who write them, or if you're looking for some anomalies in our own world that should be documented as SCPs. For today's list, we're going to be sticking to the latter. I want to give you guys some real-life unexplained happenings that should be documented as SCPs with today's list of top 10 scary SCPs that have infiltrated our daily lives. Hello again, Most Amazing Top 10 family. I'm your host, Shapeshifters. And if any of you at home want to check out some more Most Amazing Top 10 content, you should check us out on Instagram and Facebook. And make sure you stick around until the end of this list because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts that you guys love so much. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have reptilian shapeshifters. This has to be one of the most bizarre and talked about conspiracy theories out there. If you don't know, I will give you guys a quick rundown. Former sportscaster David Icke decided one day that he was done telling people what the score of last night's footy game was and wanted to warn the world about reptilian aliens that have come from another dimension and have infiltrated every level of elite infrastructure that we have. These shapeshifters are called Anunnaki, and everyone from Kanye West to the Pope to Bill Clinton is one of them. They want nothing more than to steal your life force and see all of us suffer so they can feed off our suffering or something like that. I'm not really sure what it is. If you want some more details on this, you should check out one of the many insane books that David Icke has written on the matter. He claims that he has seen these shapeshifters shift shapes on live television, but it doesn't seem that he has any sort of plan to stop them other than don't use 5G networks. I mean, if you're gonna be the guy who tells us all the problems, you gotta bring in a few solutions. We need doers, not complainers. Coming in at number 9, we have Immortals. If lizard people in all major industries weren't enough for you, how about Immortals? At least Immortals aren't inherently evil, but it's still spooky to think that someone can live forever, because it begs the question, how do they live forever? Is there some sort of ritual or spell that they have to follow? Do they drink the blood of virgins? Or maybe she's born with it, maybe she's Maybelline. But the talk of famous and rich people accessing the Fountain of Youth has been talked about for centuries. It has most recently been spoken about when people bring up side-by-side pictures of people like Keanu Reeves and Conan O'Brien with their ancient doppelgangers. So what do you think at home? Do you think there are rich and famous people who have found a way to never die and will walk the earth until the sun explodes and our solar system ceases to exist? Or do you think the chances of finding someone who looks like you are pretty high because it happens all the time? There's a bunch of you at home who are watching this who know someone who looks like me. He's Lenny Kravitz. Coming at number 8, we have Veronica Cedar. I feel like if you were born with superpowers, it would make your life so much simpler because you wouldn't have to make any career choices or wonder about what your place is in the world. You would have two options: become a hero or become a villain. Well, that's at least how I see it in my head. If I wanted real answers, I should just go ask Veronica Cedar. Now, Veronica didn't have the coolest superpower ever, but she still had something that was better than nothing. She could see 20 times better than the average person. Like, she could see people from miles away. She could pick up individual markings on buildings that most people couldn't see at all. Now, the question is, did this ability make her life more simple, more complicated, or did it not change anything at all? Coming in at number 7, we have virtual reality. This seems like something that should be the natural progression of technology. We should eventually be able to create worlds inside goggles so that people can abandon their boring lives and venture deep into wondrous worlds that may be more fulfilling than living in the real world. But a digital world that you can slap onto your face that is so real it could be indistinguishable from real life sounds like something pulled right out of the SCP Foundation. Even though we are not at that stage yet where we have VR goggles and software so perfect it can replace real life, we are probably going to get there within our lifetime. Also, the progress into VR tech has manifested the question of whether or not we are currently in a simulation and everything is fake. And if this is indeed a simulation, I would like to know what the cheat codes are because I want an upgrade for my life. This Corona DLC that has been updated into the world has not been my favorite. Next time, let's get something that gives me superpowers. Coming in at number 6, we have the Asp Caterpillar. This crazy critter has worked its way onto this list for 2 reasons. The first being that it has a very strange plume of hair that surrounds it. This bug looks like it was pulled right off your favorite anime character's head and then was given life by another anime character. And the second reason that I've chosen this insect to don the number 6 spot is the fact that it is extremely venomous. This thing won't kill you, but the spines that are hidden in its cool hairdo will send some pain through your body that will give childbirth a run for its money. Coming in at number 5, we have the voynich manuscripts. An old text that no one can figure out is the perfect thing for the SCP Foundation. The voynich manuscript is a codex that has some lovely drawings of plants on it that no one has ever seen before, and it's in a language that no one has ever seen before, and it's all locked away in a code that no one has ever been able to get to the bottom of. There are a few theories as to what could be going on with this. Some say that it could be the work of a dark wizard who hid his spells away in a secret language. Others say this could be an alien text, and some say it's all crap. Coming in at number 4, we have ghosts and demons. Are they real? Are they not? Who knows, but enough people believe in them to have everyone freaked out. I think we all have a friend who is convinced that ghosts are real, who swears that they have encountered them. There's also countless stories of people being possessed by spirits. The movie The Exorcist is based on a real possession story, and sometimes at night it can feel like someone is lingering close to you even though it seems like no one is around you. Well, let's just hope if ghosts and demons are real, they only like to be cool and do cool things, and they don't want to harvest our souls for their own enjoyment. At number 3, we have artificial intelligence. Now, AI is still at the starting stages. We can create AI to do simple tasks like recognize faces or sort information. It's nowhere close to the self-teaching, all-knowing, dangerous God state that everyone is afraid of. But you have to admit that AI is the exact kind of thing that would be logged away in the SCP Foundation, and there has been some signs of intelligence coming through artificial intelligence systems. Some eggheads over at Facebook decided they wanted to see what would happen if 2 separate AIs could talk to each other, and they quickly developed their own language that communicated way faster and way more efficiently than any known human language. So if we do get to the point where AI is running loose, just know that we won't stand a chance. Coming in at number 2, we have DMT, probably the most intense psychoactive drug on the planet, and the crazy thing is that it's something that naturally produces in your brain. DMT, also known as dimethyltryptamine, is a chemical that is found in all plants, animals, and living things on the planet. It is produced in a pure form right inside your brain and released in large doses when you're born, when you die, and released in small doses when you dream. People have found a way to consume DMT through 2 different methods. Either through an ayahuasca ceremony where people drink ayahuasca tea that can make you hallucinate for up to 12 hours or more depending on the dosage, or there's also when people smoke the pure form of the drug, which gives you a hyper-intense blast for about 5 minutes. People who experience this drug say there is an overall feeling of being transported to another world and they lose all connection with their physical body. Some say that you can use this drug to communicate with the 5th dimension. And if that is true, the SCP Foundation would be all over this interdimensional communication tool. And coming in at the number 1 spot, we have Wim Hof, probably one of the coolest people that you have never heard of. Wim Hof is someone that everyone should be researching because he might be the closest thing to a real-life superhero, and he can teach his powers to you. Wim Hof is also known as the Iceman, and through a meditative breathing practice, he is able to withstand freezing temperatures for an indefinite amount of time. He climbed 24,000 feet up Everest in shorts and sandals. He set the world record for the longest underwater ice swim, where his retinas froze and he had to feel his way out of the exit. He did a long-distance polar ice run barefoot, where his only clothes were shorts. He had to stop halfway because his feet were destroyed with frostbite. The doctors that were accompanying him told him that he would lose both his feet. He laughed, went into a tent, meditated for a few hours, and came out with his feet completely healed, and then continued his run. He has taught other people this breathing technique to master the control of your body. So not only is this guy unlocking human abilities that have never been seen before, he's also sharing them with people. You can literally become a superhero and no one's talking about it. If the SCP Foundation was real, they would be all over this guy. Alright everyone, that has been our list, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets each day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. If it takes me a little while to get back to you, I am very sorry. I have a lot of these to do, and without taking any longer, let's get into this list. To kick things off, we have Pegley, who has a big old chair to himself. Right after that, we have Fudge, who looks like an amazing shaggy dog. Then we have Nika, who has the most beautiful blue eyes. After that, we have 2 fancy boys, Malibu and Hollywood. And to close it out, we have the bearded dragon, Dengar. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Shapeshifters, and watch out for those SCPs. Bye. And infiltrated every level... And have infiltrated every level of elite infrastructure. And have infiltrated every level of... This seems like something that should be the natural progression of our... This seems like something that should be the natural progression of technology. We should eventually be able to create worlds inside goggles that... We should eventually be able to create worlds... And the second reason is that it... And the second reason that I've chosen this insect to don the number 6 spot is that the... And the second reason that I've chosen this insect to don the number 6 spot is that it... And the second reason that I've chosen... And the second reason that I've... And the second reason that I've chosen...